Good morning. This is Elizabeth Beslow with ANN, September 30th, 1875. We are in the former slave quarters of the Middlesex Plantation, Charleston, South Carolina. We are here to find out if the conditions of the recently freed women put in place by the Freedmen's Bureau in 1872 has improved. Miss Sylvia Sloozer is here with us today to talk about this subject. We also have with us today from the Puritan Church of Boston, Miss Candy Dewdrop, to explain the Puritan point of view. Welcome, Miss Sloozer and Miss Dewdrop.
Pleasure.
So, with all the hopes and dreams of a life without slavery, what are you finding today?
Well, Miss Beslow, I hate to disappoint you that after the Civil War, slaves would be happy and gallivant and living our dreams. In fact, that is not the case. As a matter of fact, I predict it'll be hundreds of years before we even recover from slavery.
What in the world do you mean? The Assistant Commissioner of the Bureau, Major General Clinton Fisk, stated that he wanted you to hold fast to the ideals of true womanhood. I have it right here. The cardinal virtues of true womanhood: piety, purity, submissiveness, domesticity, are the standards by which mid-19th century white American society judges women. He also said that a true, honest, wise woman is the best work of God. She is man's strength, the charm of the household, the attraction of the social circle, the light of the church, and the brightest jewel in the Savior's crown.
Miss Beslow, I'd like to clarify that for Miss Sloozer. When the Puritans settled in Massachusetts in the 1630s, the women brought from England a very religious moral purity that we have upheld for hundreds of years for proper young ladies to follow.
Now hold on. If he said and believed that, then he is a complete lunatic. Miss Honeydew, Dewdrop, whatever he is, I don't know of one African descent that would even fit into that.
Well, I'm saying that doesn't it sound nice to be on the same level as Queen Victoria and her court?
Miss Beslow, I don't know about Queen Victoria and her court or anything like that, but what I do know is that for hundreds of years here in the South, white folks are looked at us as an inferior race. And should be dominated, by the way. They look at us and they think we should be dominated. I don't think so.
That is dreadful. So what about the Freedmen's Bureau's plan for both men and women to go back to work in the free labor market?
That's impossible. I mean, my last husband, when he did come home, he was all boozed up. And those are the ones of us who even had husbands. Most of us have children. And I don't even know nothing about what is this free labor market or anything like that. I mean, you know what that is. And most of us, we on government rations. And now they want us to take our children and use them as apprentices at these plantations. Now, if you ask me, that's just another form of slavery.
My name's Jane Flum. I'm the receptionist here, and I couldn't help but overhear your excuses. My suggestion is, just as Commissioner Fisk means, go out and get a job and quit your belly aching. What, do you think because you're free that you don't have to work?
Yes, and the Bureau instructed former slave women like yourself to be aware of your responsibilities, to be a pure, good woman, and make a happy home where the children are playing Ring Around the Rosie. You have to learn how to knit, bake bread, keep a nice clean house, cultivate a garden, and protect your chastity.
That is outrageous. This General Fish, whatever his name is. I mean, he don't know nothing about the real life of living here. I mean, and not only that, he don't know what it's like to be a woman. I mean, many of us are destitute, we're helpless, and then there's the elderly and the sick.
And remember, a man cannot live in a home with idle, shiftless, or scolding wife. She must be clean and neat and look as pretty as possible at all times. An ill-tempered wife will drive her husband away.
Listen, we don't have no education. We don't have no 40 acres or a mule. I mean, come on, even those birds, they got nests they can nest in. Fox got holes in the ground they can be in. And not only that, fish. Even fish got schools to swim in. Us slaves, we don't have nowhere to lay our heads.
Well, I don't know what to say anymore. In the end, you have to portray yourself as worthy women with the northern ideals of dependency, domesticity, and motherhood to get federal aid and husbands.
And be a righteous person. And go to church on Sunday.
I don't know what the two of you are talking about or where you came from. All I do know, the realities of freedom, they are far, far from where we ever envisioned.
You know, maybe you have something there. The outcome from the Civil War and the definition of freedom is far from settled. For a while, the former African slaves could turn to this temporary agency, the Freedmen's Bureau, as something of a snug harbor and amid the stormy seas. This is Elizabeth Beslow for Abolition News Network saying, let's all work together for a better world.